Hey guys, excited to be here and especially talking to you today. So I've got a really great topic and I just want to say thanks. Thanks for all the support. The amount of subscribers we're getting is amazing and people sharing out the content. I see every single share, I see every single subscriber, I see every single comment. So thank you. And it's just so great to be able to get this message and this work out to people. So I want to talk about really, where change comes from and what it is that we need to do. And so I'm reminded of this story this morning. And the story, it goes a bit like this. There's the man outside his house, he'd lost his keys. And so he's searching for his keys. He's looking for his keys. And his neighbor comes along and says, hey, what are you doing? You're looking for your keys. And so they're looking and they're frustrated. They can't find his keys. And so after a while, the neighbor starts asking, those normal questions. Where was the last time you had it? Those sort of things. And so the guy says, oh, well, I dropped it inside. And and the neighbor's like, well, so we've been out here like looking for this for the last, 15, 20 minutes, but you dropped it inside. And he goes, yeah, well, why aren't we looking inside? I said, well, it's dark inside and it's light out here. I can't see what I'm doing in there. And it seems crazy, doesn't it? It's like, so you're searching somewhere else just because it's easier. See, that's a lot when people are trying to create success. They're looking for so many answers outside of them where it's easier. See, look, it's easier to try to find a new strategy. Hey, it's a new strategy. It's easier to blame the relationship on the other person. It's easier to do that rather than the truth, which is to look inside you, to look where the real change is going to happen. You can go to a doctor and you can share all your symptoms. You can say, I've got this symptom and this symptom and this symptom. And the doctor can sit there and, can write it all down, each symptom, go, cool, there's a symptom, write a prescription for every single one. And, the doctor can say, okay, now hand this one to your mother-in-law and this one to your parents when you were 4 and this one to your high school teacher and hand this one here and this one here and can hand it out to everyone else and say, okay, they've all got to change so that you can have a great life. And it sounds silly as I say that out loud, but isn't it true? So often we're looking for massive change and success, but we're looking outside of ourselves. So we've got to get back to basics sometimes. What is true? So the first thing to really, really get is you've got to choose what you're creating. And this is probably the hardest thing for people to actually decide. What do I want to create? Not what I want to avoid. One of the things that I would ask you to do is just do this with me right now is think about all the things you'd want to avoid. Okay, just write all of those things down you want to avoid. Maybe being lonely, being overweight, being unhealthy, and just think about all the things that you want to avoid. And just as you're doing that, I'd hate to be broke, or I'd hate to, notice the relationship. What you want to avoid has to do with your choices or your actions in life. And it might shock you to see that most of the actions you take are really focused on avoiding something. Instead of doing the very first is, what do I actually choose to create? I believe it's one of the hardest questions we faced as humans, is what I want to create. If you think about, say, Maslow's hierarchy, we're past the physiological and safety needs, most of us, and we're into, relationship and self-actualization and really ask ourselves, what do I want to really, truly create? What do I really want to create? And that's the hardest thing, is to go, okay, I actually get to choose my life. I actually get to choose what's being created. I'm an adult. I'm powerful. And that answer can only come from you. It can only come from within, but it's a decision to live from a place of creating what you would love rather than taking the easy route. Just to avoid things, just to have a life void of any risk of failure. I think it's one of the saddest things is you see people just living a life trying to avoid failure, trying to avoid, bad things happening, just trying to avoid stuff. So they end up with just a life where they're a little bit away from that, but they're not living a life they love. Yet everyone we look up to has gone for something, and there's always every story of someone that's really created a life. It's never this smooth process because they don't know how to do it at the beginning. They're out there, they're creating, they're making mistakes, they're going for it, but they're living. And so I'm talking to you about, how to change your life and become successful. And the first thing is to understand that it's in here. It's in here are all the changes. It's not outside. That's easy. It's easy to look outside at, oh, my relationship didn't work. It was that person, or it's I don't have the right diet, or not the right business plan, or, I wasn't raised the right way. It's easy to put the blame outside of you. The truth is, it's always here. It's always on you, always inside of you. So the first thing, really getting clear on what you want to create. And then second is making sure that every part of you is aligned with that. Something I notice with myself is I put energy into things I don't want to happen, but they're very small now. I'll have like little worries or concerns, and that they're not even reality. I might not want to do a certain topic of video because, someone might say a certain thing, or I want to avoid this. And I noticed that I put a little bit of energy there. And so yesterday I was thinking about how many of these just little things are still lingering. And if each one of those took, I don't know, say 1% of my focus, what I noticed is my unconscious focus, I'm not 100% focused on what I want. Rather, there's these little things, oh, well, if I say that, if I do that, rather than just going for it. And so one to really, sit with is go, okay, so it's all on me. Okay, what do I really want to create? And then is my 100% focus on what I want? I'm sure you've heard all the stories of, people driving down highways and there's nothing around. They're out in the desert and there's just like a power pole every, 100 meters or whatever it is. And somehow when they skid off the road, they manage to hit one of these poles. And it's because that's what they look at. They say, I don't want to hit that. And they end up hitting it, which obviously if you're out on a highway in a desert, there's nothing around, you should really just go out onto the, onto the fields and not hit the higher probability. And so it defies the odds. And that's because we have some level of focus there. And that really relates, I think, to a lot of people who want to change their life, because they end up at a personal development conference or they end up somewhere and half of their focus is on what they don't want. And this has to be one of the hardest things to realize is it's all on me. I get to choose what I love. And then two, I need to stop focusing on what I don't want and really just get all of my focus on what I want. And so that's my question for you is, what if you could have your whole focus on just what you love, just what you want to create, your whole focus, like no worry about what someone else thought, no worry about whether it goes wrong, no worry about anything else, just 100% focus. And could you get yourself there? Could you really, truly just sit in that? Because as soon as you get there, you'll start to see yourself, oh, what will this person think? Or what if I go broke? Or what if this? Or what if they judge me? Or what if this thing happens? Or how about this? Or all these things. And just ask yourself, can I stay 100% focused on what I love and what I want to create? So very, very important. That man is never going to find his keys looking outside. And you're never going to success if you don't take it on as your 100% responsibility. No one else's. Everyone gets given a past. Everyone has a family. Everyone has challenges. Everyone has a certain journey. You don't need to compare to anyone else's. You got yours. And it does not matter what's happened in the past or anything that's gone on. We can give so many examples of people overcoming massive adversity equal to yours. And so it's just about you going, well, that happened. What do I want to create? And ensuring that your whole system is aligned with that. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be here live with me. Thanks for those of you that are commenting underneath. Share this out if you know someone else needs to hear it, because for me, the biggest thing of getting here and getting this, hey, Rebecca, hey, Civi, is to really impact as many people as possible. And I just need your help to click share, check Facebook, hit subscribe, and tell your friends about this. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.